Kevin and Layla want to take the page a step further by organizing a Syracuse music festival that they hope will happen soon. These electronic voting machines are here, ready to turn Mundy Library into a voting location for District 4 residents. 75 cents of every dollar stays right here in Central New York to help with breast cancer education, research, and to help women who may not be able to afford their yearly mammograms. But if the braid is too tight, it can pull on the hair follicles, which can result in hair loss over time. Rutgers says that's why it's important to let a professional do it. Time is running out for parents and supporters to get the Central Square Central School District to overturn its ruling to close Cleveland Elementary. Monday is one of many residents living near I-81 that believes the state is more concerned with rebuilding the interstate than saving the surrounding communities. The fall season is here, and with it comes another season, flu season. Jennifer Molina goes over paperwork to get her flu shot at the Onondaga County Health Department's flu clinic. Molina says her reason for getting the shot is simple.
No one wants to get sick. Having the flu sucks.
People have deaths from the flu, so it's definitely much more serious than a cold, and you want to do what you can to prevent it.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says the flu vaccine is the first and most important step in preventing the flu, and research shows that same shot could help prevent other serious illnesses. A new study released this week reveals getting your flu shot may reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke. Dr. Simmons says the results of this study support what many doctors already believed.
It's reasonable to believe that influenza, with the stress that it puts on the cardiovascular system, is a risk factor as it is for a number of other illnesses.
The results show that people who had the flu shot reduced their risk of heart disease, stroke, and death by 36%. People with a history of heart attack that got a flu shot reduced their risk of another major cardiac event by 55%. Molina now knows her flu shot may protect her from more than just the flu. Several houses sit on North Geddes Street. But there's one house that has been more than a home for Liz Garcia.
Exodus House Ministries has been a godsend.
Garcia fled to Exodus House to escape an abusive relationship.
When I walked in this house, I was just shattered emotionally, mentally, spiritually.
And I literally used to come in the house and would see Liz sitting in a corner with a hood on her head in the dark. But I knew one thing, we had to meet her where she was at.
Exodus House provides life skills classes to Garcia and the other residents to help restore their lives.
Don't do chicken speech.
Garcia will be the first resident to graduate from the house during the one-year anniversary celebration on Saturday. Executive Director Deborah Person says many people didn't believe Exodus House would have survived this long.
I kept telling people, all I have is my faith. To the naysayers, all I have is my faith.
And that same faith healed Garcia, and she is blossoming from the program. Her goal is to get her CDL license to become a truck driver. Garcia types her story to share at the celebration tomorrow. She hopes her story will give hope to others.
Those kids have so much to be proud of.
Kindergarten graduation is a bittersweet moment for the community at Cleveland Elementary.
It helps, I think, give them strength moving forward, whatever comes, to know that they're together and that they are going to be there for each other, and that these parents and this community, whatever this end result is, we're going to stick together.
Cleveland parents are still fighting to make sure this kindergarten graduation isn't the last one for this school.
I realize that sometimes the numbers don't look best for us, but if they've got to look at the entire picture.
The district says it's closing the school due to declining enrollment and a shortage of state funding. But the parents and supporters believe redistricting is a better option than closing the school.
And if they move things around within that area, you could move children out of one school and move them either across the street or move them within a couple of miles, but the Boy Scouts wouldn't lose a place to meet, and they wouldn't lose the soccer fields, and they wouldn't lose a basketball court.
Reed says the parents have filed an appeal to the State Department of Education as a last attempt to keep the school open.
And we're also pleading that the board will realize the value of what we bring here.
My dream is to keep the school open.
And the village of Cleveland is fighting to make that dream a reality. For the 5th year, Jennifer Moore brings her music students to the Ithaca College High School Gospel Festival.
It's thrilling. It's my greatest pride. If there's any one thing I do for these kids, it's to get them on a bus to this school, this college here.
It's the power and the intensity of singing with such a large chorus and everything, and like gospel music is just a great great chance to do this, and I'm so grateful to Miss Moore for it.
It's the centerpiece of her music program at Willsboro Central School, a music program that has had its own mountains to overcome. The school's music program went through a slump for 2 years after the then current music teacher became ill and no longer able to teach, forcing the school to rely on back-to-back substitute teachers. But in 2009, that all changed when the school hired Moore.
We actually went out and recruited her a little bit, had heard her name in the area for a couple of years, and really were very interested to have her come and apply here.
1, 2, together.
Moore stepped in and revived the music program for grades pre-K through 12 by creating a vocal and instrumental music program.
I wanted to work in this school and have this job so that I could create the kind of music program that I would have loved as a kid. Hallelujah, dance, children.
She not only added structure to the program, but also personality and passion.
Mrs. Moore, like I said, she lets out this energy and it rubs off on you, and you're just like, drum set, you know, like music, singing, awesome.
My goal is not to create a professional musician necessarily. It's someone who can enjoy music and participate.
I brought up to her one day, I wish students could take other instruments like violin. And she's like, oh, if Erin wants to take violin, but she can come down and take violin. And it's been great.
Like, I was really glad that she would help people who want to try new things.
Moore gives more than what's required, but with any great leader comes some sacrifice.
My family's been amazing. It has not been easy though, because there have been times when I've done 80-hour weeks, and my kids are young-ish, 11 and 15. And I've missed a handful of their things, and I don't feel good about that. They love music, but they don't want to do it. They have other interests, which I totally support. Like, I wouldn't miss their fencing classes for anything. I don't care what musical opportunity it is.
It's her heart for the program that won her the National Heart of the Arts Award for the East Region.
How thrilling it is to be recognized. People are paying attention, and now I feel like, okay, now we really have to work.
The small town of Willsboro is nestled in the Adirondack Mountains with a population of about 1,800 and 98% white. That's why Moore uses the Gospel Festival to give her students a cultural experience the classroom can't teach.
It never really ends, but when we get on that bus, something changes. And we leave a little piece of ourselves here, but we bring a lot more back.
And for Moore, making a difference in her students' lives through music is the heart of why she does it all. Jasmine Haynes, NCC News. The Defense Department says Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl will be transferred Friday from Germany to Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio for treatment and questioning. Chunks of the luxury home have been falling into Lake Whitney for several days now, creating an urgency over how to safely remove the condemned home before gravity sucked all 3 stories into the lake. And in Phoenix, a priest has been fatally shot and another critically wounded in an attack at a downtown Catholic church. Witnesses tell police the assailant was a white male in his 40s who burst into the Mother of Mercy Mission Church. And Ozzy also got to celebrate Father's Day on his birthday. He is the dad of 10 children and also has 9 grandchildren. Wow, what a legacy, right?
Can't believe that.